Hello, happy Thursday. I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well, that you're having a good week and a good day. I apologize for not posting yesterday. It was kind of a busy day, still unpacking, but I was at rehearsal for the professional dance company. I styled a couple of the numbers, and I had to bring costumes and watch them dance, and it's so exciting for me. I love being a part of something like that. Working with the students for almost 10 years was such a joy. But working with these professional dancers, and especially at this big show that's coming up, it's so cool. It's so cool. And I love working with my friend Michael. He is just the best. So it was just nice to be back in the mix. And I have a lot of work to do before Wednesday coming next week, because that's the big tech rehearsal. But, I'm going to be a busy costumer in the next few days. But I, as I was thinking about unpacking and getting things where they're going, I haven't really stopped to think about, except at night, which I'm sleeping a little bit better, but I've been falling asleep on my couch and, not even getting into bed, but I have been sleeping a few hours. It's kind of chaotic, but I have not really stopped to think about physically how I feel, because I want to keep getting the apartment where I want it to be, and we're getting closer, but we're not 100% there yet. But every time we move something and more space is cleared and everything looks nicer, it's like, see, we're going to get there, and it's hopeful. And so I never lose hope if I can help it, because I feel like that's the biggest, worst mistake. And so I try to keep myself hopeful and like moving in that direction, because that's what keeps me motivated, it keeps me going. And so I was on Facebook, and the people at Stronger Than Pain are just the most extraordinary people, because, talk about hopeful. They always post such great things, and you guys know I love you. But they posted something by a poet, and I don't want to ruin the name. I think it's Uli K or Yuli K. I will apologize in advance for that. But then I started looking up her other poems, and I found something that I wanted to share with you, which of course my phone closed, and okay. But I wanted to share it because I think it's such a beautiful, honest, rendition or version of what hope is, and I agree with it 100%. So I'm going to share that with you now. Bare Bones is what the poem is called. Hope is not always soft and lovely. She is not always cascading rivers and sunlit skies dancing. Hope knows there is work to be done. There are roads to be traveled, turns to be made. She is bare bones and deep waters. She is weary and weak. She is barely a glimmer. She shakes when she speaks. This is where hope lives. Smothered in sweat, full of war, and on the verge of crumbling into the sea. Yet there she is, quietly breathing. Come on. Come on. Because every time I think about the way I might sound to people, that I'm like skipping along like hope is great and keep positive and all that, trust me when I say I don't believe that. I believe hope is hard work, and hope kicks your ass because you feel like, I don't know what to think anymore. But hope keeps me going, even though I know that some days I'm hanging on by the edge of my nails. But I thought that was the most beautiful, honest interpretation of what hope is, and I feel like, that's how I look at hope. Hope is not just this skipping along and sparkling and yay, everything's great, because that's complete BS. That is not the way it is. Hope, it takes work to be hopeful and to keep things going and to keep things positive. It's like a full-time job if you have a full-time illness, trust me. As many of you, if not all of you, can relate to a full-time something, some full-time boulders in your backpack situation, which we all have. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. I know I keep saying that. I don't care where you are in your life, how well off you are, how not well off. We all have boulders in our backpack, and some days we can put those down, but that doesn't mean the rest of the rocks are gone. So that version of hope, that scrambling, struggling, but still there, still breathing, still glimmering, hope is so beautiful, and I wanted to share that with all of you. And so next week will be a busy week, but I'm super excited about it. It's so nice to be wanted back there, and to, we wanted on the project and keep that relationship going, and just to see these extraordinary pieces of choreography, some new, some not, come to life with new bodies doing the work, and it's so nice that I just feel so proud of my friend who's the choreographer. He's this brilliant artist, and these dancers are just, to see it all come to life again with new people. It's neat. It's interesting, and you feel possessive of the original piece and how it looked, and then it's like, oh, with new people dancing it, it's, you know, it's a little bit, they've made it theirs while still being my friends, and it's interesting. If you do anything with art and dancing and music and things like that, you know what I'm talking about, that when new people take a crack at it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and like in this case it works. It's beautiful. And so I was a little emotional last night when I left. I was like, okay, I'm going now. But I'm so proud of them, and it's just nice to be. It's just nice to be. And so I can't even slow down. And I think that's the other reason why I'm not focusing on the aches and pains and whatnot. And I'm seeing my doctor next week, but I can't focus on that, because if I start to focus on that, then I start to slow down and crash, and I can't crash. I have too much to do in the next 2 weeks. So it's like, yeah. But what else is happening? I'm going to see family that I haven't seen since before the pandemic this weekend, which is so exciting. I'm so happy. And we're just plugging along, just, you know, going where we're going and doing what we have to do and getting it done. And I hope that wherever you are, that you have a low pain, no pain, low aggravation, no aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, and kind of a weekend to come. That is what we hope for. That's what we deserve. And that is what I truly wish for each and every one of you. Remember that I'm going to post it on my social medias, that picture, that poem, because I think it's so powerful and it's so flipping true. Hope is hard, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And so keep that glimmer, keep that tiny, tiny, tiny glimmer of hope, because it helps. It really does help. And so I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the night. I will see you tomorrow via the blog, next week for everything else, and have a good night. Bye.